Okay, let's set a scene. Imagine this. It's a sweltering afternoon in Punjab, May 20th, 1983. We're on the huge green campus of Punjab Agricultural University in Ludhiana. You know, the usual student buzz lectures finishing, bikes whirring past, distant chatter. Just a normal day.
Right, the rhythm of campus life.
Exactly. Then, out of nowhere, this sharp crack just shatters the air. A man, maybe early 50s, simple kurta, he just crumples near his office. Life draining away right there.
And the really chilling part.
Yeah, the chilling part is that dozens of people saw it. Students, professors, staff, they just froze. Nobody moved to help.
It sends a shiver down your spine, doesn't it? And this wasn't random.
No, not at all. This was calculated. You could feel it. It's born from this toxic mix of campus politics, personal grudges, and this really rigid sense of discipline he was known for.
A perfect storm, almost.
So the big question is, how does this happen? How does Prithipal Singh? I mean, this guy was the Thunderbolt of Indian hockey, a three-time Olympian whose penalty corners terrified defenders worldwide. How does he end up murdered in public like that?
It's a shocking downfall.
It is. And that's our mission today in this deep dive. We want to unravel the highs, the dazzling highs, but also the really shadowy lows of the man they called the king of the short corner. It's more than just one athlete's story, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's about how a nation remembers or maybe forgets its pioneers, especially in a sport that was once, the absolute definition of national pride.
Right. So where do we start with Prithipal Singh? The beginning, I guess.
Exactly. Let's go back to his roots.
Yeah.
He was born January 28th, 1932. The place was Nankana Sahib, a dusty town, but a really important Sikh pilgrimage site. This was in undivided Punjab, which of course is now part of Pakistan.
And his family.
Simple, hardworking Jat Sikh family. His father, Gurmukh Singh, mother Kartar Kaur, they were farmers working the land under British rule, just trying to build a stable life. And young Prithipal, even then, they say he had this fierceness about him.
Oh, really? How so?
Just boundless energy. Apparently, he'd chase after anything that moved, a ball, a stick, stray dogs, you name it. You sort of get a glimpse of that future powerhouse already.
But that stability his family dreamed of didn't last, did it? 1947 changed everything.
Utterly shattered it. Partition, the subcontinent was torn apart. Riots erupted everywhere. Horrific violence. Trains arriving packed with corpses. Millions fleeing their homes.
An unimaginable catastrophe.
Truly. And the Singh family, they were part of that mass exodus. They endured days, weeks of terror, hunger, loss. Eventually, they resettle in Jalandhar in Indian Punjab.
A city flooded with refugees, I imagine.
Absolutely teeming with them. Survival meant starting completely from scratch. Prithipal was just 15, watching his father working these tiny, meager plots of land just to get by.
That must have been incredibly tough for a teenager.
Immense pressure. And that's where hockey came in. That rough stick-and-ball game became his escape. He played on local fields that were, still scarred by the chaos of partition. It was his way out.
So from that chaos, when did people start noticing this raw talent he had?
It didn't take long, actually. By his late teens, he was about 5'10", but built like a coiled spring. People said he had the power of a village wrestler, but the precision of a surgeon. That's quite a combination.
Definitely.
In 1950, he joined the hockey team at Agricultural College Ludhiana. That's the place that eventually became Punjab Agricultural University, where his life tragically ended.
Wow, full circle.
Yeah. And he wasn't just about sports. By 1955, he got the Roll of Honor for excelling in both sports and studies, but on the field.
Wow.
He was apparently blasting balls into nets so hard that goalkeepers genuinely flinched.
And the drag flicks, that was a signature, right?
Oh, absolutely. His drag flicks were something else. These incredibly powerful, low shots, lightning fast. I say they were like arrows, curving just enough to hit the post or sneak past the goalie. Pure precision and power.
It sounds like he was already making a name for himself.
He was. By 1956, he was playing for the Punjab police team wearing their black jersey. They were a national powerhouse back then.
The Punjab police team was a big deal.
Huge deal. And his teammates called him the enforcer. Always drilling penalty corners, leading with this intense glare. They won the Agha Khan Cup in Mumbai in '61. But even then, you started seeing signs of friction.
Friction with whom?
With the authorities, mainly the Indian Hockey Federation, the IHF. Its president, Ashwini Kumar, ran a tight ship, maybe too tight. Prithipal had this unyielding nature. He refused to, play the political games.
The classic clash between talent and bureaucracy.
Exactly. He believed hockey belonged on the field, not in corridors filled with officials. That stubbornness, that refusal to bow down, it marked him early on. It would be a recurring theme.
Right. And this is all happening as Indian hockey is entering its golden age, the 1960s.
Absolutely the golden age. Hockey totally overshadowed cricket then. Imagine stadiums packed, crowds going wild. It was more than a sport, it was national pride on display.
And Prithipal steps onto the biggest stage of the Olympics,
Yeah.
Rome, 1960.
His debut. He was 28, playing under Captain Udham Singh, alongside legends like Leslie Claudius, Balbir Singh Senior India were the favorites, but Prithipal was the wild card. A fullback, strong in defense, but with this lethal weapon from the penalty corner.
So how did Rome go? It sounds like an epic tournament.
It really was. India just sailed through the pool stages. Prithipal was top scorer with 5 goals. His short corners were deadly. Against Spain, he scored 3 goals just from those set pieces, just slicing through defenses.
Incredible. But the final.
Heartbreak, right?
Yeah, the final against Pakistan. A nail-biter. Pakistan won 1-0. So silver for India. But for Prithipal, the partition survivor, playing against Pakistan on that stage, it was more than just a game. It was vindication. Crossing a border in triumph, not fear.
And he got a nickname out of it.
He did. The papers called him the Fury of Punjab. It captured that fierce spirit. Fast forward 4 years. Tokyo 1964. Redemption was the goal.
But politics nearly kept him out again. Almost. In '63, the IHF actually dropped him from the squad. He'd quit the Punjab police team over some internal issues, and the Federation reacted.
Seriously. After his performance in Rome.
Yep. But the press went nuts. Headlines like, "Has Prithipal become so bad after leaving the police?" The public outcry was massive. They had to recall him. It showed just how popular he was, even if the officials weren't fans.
So Tokyo was his chance to prove them wrong.
And did he ever? Under Captain Charanjit Singh, India reclaimed the gold. They beat Pakistan 1-0 in the final. Prithipal was unbelievable. He scored 10 of India's 22 goals in the tournament.
10 goals. Wow.
Yeah.
Including crucial ones.
Absolutely crucial. Against Argentina, Australia. In the semifinal against Germany, his drag flick tied the game, completely turning the momentum. The commentator, Melville de Mello, had that famous line.
Oh, the Rock of Gibraltar one.
That's the one. Prithipal Singh was like the Rock of Gibraltar, unmovable, unbreakable. Perfect description.
And the final itself.
Yeah.
Must have been incredibly tense.
Unbelievably tense, scoreless at halftime against Pakistan. You could cut the tension with a knife. Then, 36th minute, India gets a penalty corner.
Prithipal steps up.
Eyes locked on the goal. He unleashes that whip-like shot. It's blocked, but by a Pakistani defender's foot, penalty stroke awarded.
By drama.
Totally. Mohinder Lal stepped up and converted it. 1-0 India. And Prithipal's sheer presence, his pressure, it clearly rattled the Pakistanis. They started playing rough. There's that famous story.
About Dad Prithipal.
Yeah. One Pakistani player apparently yelled to his teammate, "Can't attack now, your dad Prithipal is ahead." Just shows the fear he instilled. India held on, gold medal secured.
What a moment. And he wasn't done yet. Mexico City, 1968.
Mexico City, his 3rd Olympics. He was 36 by then, a real veteran. He was actually co-captain with Gurbax Singh.
Co-captains, that's unusual.
Very unusual. And yeah, it definitely annoyed the IHF bosses. But Prithipal still delivered, scored 2 goals in the win against Australia. India ended up taking bronze, beating Spain 2-1 in the playoff. And guess who was top scorer again?
Had to be Prithipal.
Yep. His Olympic tally is just extraordinary. 3 medals, silver, gold, bronze across 3 games, and 16 goals. A record for a penalty corner specialist. Just amazing consistency at the highest level.
And the national recognition followed. Awards.
Oh, yes. He received the Arjuna Award in 1961 from President Rajendra Prasad, then the Padma Shri in 1967, a huge civilian honor.
But even with those honors, the friction with the IHF didn't go away.
Not a chance. He was very outspoken. Accused officials of favoritism, apparently stormed out of selection meetings. He had that famous line.
Hockey is for the field, not the corridors.
Exactly. Delivered in that gravelly, no-nonsense voice they talked about. He just wouldn't compromise his principles for politics.
Beyond the personality clashes, though, his impact on the game itself was huge, wasn't it? You mentioned how he changed the penalty corner.
He revolutionized it. Before him, penalty corners were often, a bit hit and miss, maybe a 50-50 chance. Prithipal turned it into his domain, almost a guaranteed scoring opportunity for India.
How did he do it? What was his technique?
It was meticulous. He trapped the incoming ball with this incredible, calm, almost surgical precision, then unleashed the shot. They clocked his hits at over 100 kilometers per hour. And crucially, they dipped low, making them incredibly hard for defenders and goalies to block.
100 kilometers an hour with a wooden stick? That's insane power.
Insane power and accuracy. There was that warning from the New Zealand newspaper, the Evening Post, basically saying, to face Prithipal's hit is to risk one's life. That's the kind of fear factor he had.
Did this come naturally, or was it pure hard work?
A lot of hard work. He trained relentlessly, stories of him dragging tires with his hockey stick to build strength, spending hours just visualizing the ball's trajectory. He wasn't just powerful, he was smart.
A tactician, too.
Definitely. His teammate, Captain Charanjit Singh, said Prithipal would spot weaknesses in the opposition's defense that even the coaches missed. He could turn defense into attack in an instant. In an era way before video analysis, he was like the human algorithm. Instinct, intelligence, and incredible grit.
He sounds like a complete, albeit intense, package. What about his life away from the hockey pitch?
Well, he did have a family life that grounded him. He married Balbir Kaur back in 1957. They had 2 sons, Ajitpal and Gurmail. After he retired from playing around 1970, he took up a post at Punjab Agricultural University.
Back to Ludhiana.
Back to Ludhiana. Started as a physical education instructor, but he rose through the ranks to become Dean of Student Welfare. The campus, with its big grounds and thousands of students, seemed like a good fit for him, a place to channel that energy into shaping young people.
Applying that same discipline, I imagine.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Building facilities, hockey pitches up to Olympic standard, gyms, but also enforcing rules with that same iron fist. Drills until blisters formed. His motto was basically, discipline wins medals and degrees. No slacking allowed.
But the 1970s, as you mentioned, were a turbulent time in Punjab. That must have complicated his role.
Hugely complicated. Hockey's golden age was fading, cricket was rising. Prithipal actually hated the shift to AstroTurf, argued it killed the soul of Indian hockey. But beyond sport, Punjab itself was becoming volatile. Economic problems, rising militancy, student unions becoming very powerful and political.
And the university was a microcosm of that.
It absolutely mirrored the state's fractures. You had sons of farmers, urban idealists, all mixed together. And Prithipal, with his strict ex-policeman, ex-Olympian code, well, he was bound to clash with the more radical elements.
Were there specific incidents that ramped up the tension?
Yeah, a couple of really serious ones. In 1978, a student leader named Prithipal Singh died. Officially, it was ruled a heart attack, but there were widespread rumors, whispers of foul play involving campus politics.
Suspicious.
Very. Then, in 1980, another student, a handball star named Pyara Singh Parmar, was actually murdered. As Dean of Student Welfare, Prithipal investigated both these incidents.
And he didn't shy away from pointing fingers.
Not at all. His reports apparently implicated student union politics, which definitely ruffled a lot of feathers among powerful factions on campus. He started getting anonymous threats after that.
Did he take them seriously?
Publicly. He just shrugged them off, like facing down opponents on the field. But you have to wonder what he felt privately.
So by 1982, the campus sounds like a pressure cooker.
Absolutely. Student elections were becoming violent affairs. Different factions accused Prithipal of being biased, of favoring one group over another. His response was just to double down on the rules.
Strict enforcement.
Super strict. No ragging, that dangerous hazing of new students, mandatory attendance. Cheating meant instant expulsion. This is where you see that split perception really clearly.
Guardian or tyrant.
Exactly. To students who wanted order, he was a guardian. To those involved in the union politics or who chafed against the rules, he was a tyrant. There's a story from a former student.
What did they say?
Said he used to patrol the student hostels at night carrying his stick, just like on the hockey field. Feared, definitely. But this student added, but fair! It captures that duality. He demanded excellence, demanded order, which worked in sport but was incredibly polarizing in that charged campus environment.
And this intense situation started affecting his home life.
It did. His family lived in a modest house right there on campus. It apparently became like a bunker. Doors bolted early, everyone on edge. His wife, Balbir Kaur, she begged him to retire, to just step away from it all.
But he refused.
He refused. He made jokes, apparently, like, I've faced Pakistanis with sticks, this is nothing, trying to downplay it. But people close to him said you could see the worry in his eyes. He knew the danger, but that sense of duty, his rigid belief in discipline, wouldn't let him back down.
Which brings us back, tragically, to that afternoon, May 20, 1983.
Yeah. It started like any other day. He rode his Royal Enfield bike to his office. It was about 2:30 p.m. He parked near the student welfare block. As he got off, 2 young men approached him.
Student?
Yes. Baldev Singh, 22, studying botany, and Jaswinder Singh, 21, studying agronomy. They were masked. One had a .32 revolver. They fired 6 shots, point-blank range.
Oh, my God.
2 bullets hit him in the chest. He staggered, reportedly called out for help, then collapsed. And that awful detail again. Over 50 people saw it happen. Professors, clerks, students, nobody moved. They scattered.
That inaction is just staggering. Fear, maybe, or something else.
It's hard to say definitively. Maybe extreme fear in a volatile situation, maybe a sense of powerlessness, maybe something darker related to the campus divisions.
Yeah.
We just don't know. The killers got on a scooter and just disappeared into Ludhiana.
Chaos must have followed.
Complete chaos. Sirens, confusion, students in shock. They rushed Prithipal to the civil hospital, but it was too late. The bullets had hit major arteries. He was declared dead on arrival.
And the news spread like wildfire.
Instantly, Olympic hero gunned down. It shocked the entire nation. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi sent condolences. Hockey legends like Balbir Singh Sr. were horrified, condemning the savagery.
It's such a stark contrast, too. India was still celebrating the Cricket World Cup win from that same year.
Yeah, the '83 win under Kapil Dev cricket was soaring, crowning a new king. And suddenly, hockey's old king, a true legend, is brutally murdered. A very jarring moment in India's sporting history.
What about the police investigation? They had the killers' names.
They did. Baldev Singh actually surrendered a few days later. He confessed, saying it was revenge for injustices on campus, linking it back to those earlier deaths and Prithipal's perceived interference in the unions. Jaswinder Singh was arrested soon after in Amritsar.
So confession, suspects, motive. Sounds like a clear case.
It seemed that way initially. Forensic tests even matched the gun found to the bullets. The motives, though tangled, Randhawa's death, Parmar's murder, Prithipal cracking down on unions, seemed established.
But the trial didn't go smoothly.
Not at all. It just fell apart. Baldev retracted his confession, claimed the police forced it out of him, and those dozens of eyewitnesses, they suddenly turned hostile in court, couldn't remember details, wouldn't testify clearly.
So despite everything, the case collapsed.
Completely. By 1985, the charges were dropped. Officially, the case remains unsolved, just faded into dusty files. It's deeply frustrating. So many witnesses, a confession, the weapon, yet no justice.
It really makes you wonder about the pressures involved, doesn't it? Fear, influence.
Absolutely. It speaks volumes about the climate at the time, perhaps the limits of the justice system when faced with powerful local factors or political sensitivities. Prithipal's funeral was huge. Thousands attended. Tributes poured in. Ashwini Kumar from the IHF even called him irreplaceable.
But the memory faded quickly.
Shockingly quickly. Mourning seemed to turn into a kind of collective amnesia. No major memorials were built. His name often got skipped in sports history accounts. Why? Well, hockey itself was declining in popularity after the 80s. The federation was plagued by issues. AstroTurf changed the game.
And his own personality, that polarizing reputation.
That definitely played a part. He was a hero to many, but an autocrat to others. As Charanjit Singh said later, he demanded perfection. Not everyone forgives that. His tough stance didn't win him universal affection, especially off the field.
What about his family through all this?
They carried on with dignity. His sons, Ajitpal and Gurmail, built stable careers away from the spotlight. His wife, Balbir Kaur, lived quietly in Jalandhar, guarding his memory. There was a small spark with a docudrama in 2015, Prithipal Singh.
But the real effort to bring his story back came later.
Yes, crucially, with Sundeep Misra's 2025 book, Gunned Down, Murder of an Olympic Champion. Misra is a journalist who remembered hearing about Prithipal in debates as a kid. The murder always bothered him.
So he decided to dig deeper.
For 6 long years, he tracked down old teammates, officials, people involved in the campus conflicts. He even claims to have gotten anonymous confessions from the killers themselves. His goal was a neutral portrayal. The fierce scorer, the sharp strategist, but also the flawed, uncompromising enforcer.
Did his book uncover new details?
It certainly brought a lot together, vivid accounts of his playing days, that artillery fire from penalty corners. But it also highlighted how poorly documented Indian sports history often is. Unlike other countries, we often just get, match blurbs. Prithipal scored 3. No depth.
And Misra emphasizes a key point.
A devastating point. Prithipal Singh is India's only assassinated Olympic gold medalist. That's a shocking statistic, a real stain on our sporting memory. Misra's argument is powerful. If we don't document, they vanish. We lose these complex, important stories.
Did the book show those contrasting views clearly?
Very clearly, you have teammates like Charanjit Singh praising his incredible valor and skill, and then, chillingly, Misra includes insights supposedly from one of the killers, admitting no remorse, justifying the act as a response to discipline gone mad.
Wow. Discipline gone mad.
Ah,
That's a stark perspective. How do you even process that against the image of the Olympic hero?
it's the core conflict of his legacy, isn't it? It shows how actions, even those driven by principle, can be perceived so differently depending on your position, especially in a politically charged environment. His strength became his vulnerability.
Looking at Indian hockey today is a bit of a resurgence, right? Paris bronze, Tokyo silver for the women. Does Prithipal's story have relevance now?
I think it looms large, instructively. You see echoes of his technique in modern drag flick specialists like Harmanpreet Singh. You see his kind of grit reflected in players today who still battle federation issues and politics. The corridors haven't entirely disappeared.
Is his memory honored at PAU now?
There is a plaque, which is something. But you could argue there should be more scholarships in his name, maybe a pitch named after him, and that unsolved murder still hangs there. A reminder of what happens when politics, whether on campus or in sport, goes unchecked and turns violent.
That unresolved element is powerful. A wound that hasn't fully healed.
Exactly. It reminds us that remembering isn't just about celebrating medals, it's about confronting the difficult parts of the story, too.
When you strip it all back, Prithipal Singh wasn't just a hockey player. He feels like the heartbeat of the game in his era. Raw, relentless, fiercely real. Maybe too real for some.
Well put. In today's world of often carefully managed images, his story is a potent reminder that true legends often have rough edges, they bleed for the game, on the field, and sometimes, tragically, off it.
So as you hear the roar for Cricket 6 today, maybe take a moment. Think about that Thunderbolt from Punjab who lit up the Olympics. And ask yourself, what really defined his final penalty corner? Was it that indomitable spirit we admired? Or was it the tragic, complex forces that ultimately silenced him? Something to definitely mull over.